Hey everybody, it's Friday. You know what that means? Choice Day. I hope you had a good time playing Wolf yesterday. Wonder who could figure out who was evil and who was not. I guess we'll find out next week. So let's get started. So today what we're going to do is we're going to respond to sounds, music, images, and the written word so that we can complete one of the activities from the choice board. As always, our cameras are on, our mics are muted, and the question of the day today is, did you complete all of this week's work? Yes or no? What are you missing? What do you need? You got to be more communicative with me, guys. That thing that says question, comments, and concerns at the bottom isn't just to be ignored or say the word no. If you have a lot of missing work, if you're having problems, let me know. I know we signed up for times to meet. We're going to start having those meetings soon. I just have to schedule everybody because a lot of people picked, the same time. So it's going to take a minute to start having those meetings, but we will start having those meetings that y'all signed up for. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to go over last Friday's choice board. We didn't really have a lot of art because everybody did the meditation. So I'm really happy about that. That seems to be working for you guys. Y'all seem to be pretty good about doing them with me in class and then being able to turn those in. So that's really awesome. And a lot of people said that the meditation really helped them. And so I'm so happy about that. Meditation is a really, really great way to just relieve some stress really quickly. So you can just do that just at your desk. You start getting stressed out, you just take a second, take a few deep breaths, kind of walk your head through some very calming pictures, take a small break, and then get back to what you're doing. So it is, you can do them a long way, you can do them short, but it is a very helpful tool when you remember to use it, because a lot of times I forget and I could really use doing that more often. So we were going to do some theater breathing exercises. So to do the breathing exercise, what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in for a count of 3 and then blow out for a count of 3. It's always good to try and breathe in through the nose, but if you're having sinus problems, you can always breathe in through the mouth. You're going to do this 5 times. Okay, so it should end up being around 30 seconds of breathing. Now, don't make yourself pass out. If you do it too fast, then you might get lightheaded. So make sure you're sitting in a safe place, and you're just going to breathe in for 3 seconds and breathe out for 3 seconds, and then in and then out, and you're going to do it 5 times. All right, so today's station that we're working on together is the playwriting station. So let's go to Canvas. On the home page, you're going to click on Assignments, and then you're going to choose Friday. There will be a video right here, this video that I'm making right now, so that you can watch it and work through it all the way. Please let me know if this works better for you, having the videos on this page instead of on the asynchronous page. So you're going to click on this button down here, and it's going to take you to the choice board. All right. When in doubt, if you're worried, if you're stressed out, if you're totally lost, if you're freaking out, do the Padlet. The Padlet is the easiest, the fastest, and honestly, the one I would rather have you do, because it is good for your soul to do that. Don't forget, if you are doing the Padlet, that you need to take the screenshot and turn it in. Because I know a lot of you are doing the Padlet, and I really am so happy about that. But you're not turning it in. So your grades are like in the tank. I need you to turn them in so I can grade them. So take a screenshot, crop it down like this, or just circle which one is yours, it's fine. And then turn it in. Make sure you're turning it in. It's very important. All right. So we're going to go to the playwriting activity. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose from the series of prompts, and we're going to write and create a script based on the video. Again, you don't have to do the 500-word story that the video tells you to. It's only about writing a script. So when you click on it, it's going to take you to YouTube. And it's going to take you to this playlist. Now, you do not have to watch the entire video to get the prompt, although the video will help you have ideas if you are worried about it. These videos come from a channel called Imagine Forest, and they're very nice. So the last time we talked about this, we did this prompt, or we talked about the prompt. So let's look at this one. We aren't going to play the video, but we are going to read the prompt. So the prompt is in the description. 2 million years ago, there lived a family of cavemen and cavewomen. One curious caveman makes an interesting discovery, and he ends up in the city in the year 2020. Walking by near you, you find the caveman crying next to a dumpster. What do you do? And then it gives you suggestions of things you can do. Do you help the caveman get home? Do you teach him the ways of the modern world? Do you end up traveling to another time with this caveman? How does it go? So this is what the prompt is. So we're going to copy this prompt. You don't have to copy the prompt, but I'm going to just for ease. So let's go to the whiteboard and we'll look at this. So we're going to put the prompt there so that we can see it. So it is now here, so now we can see it. And we're going to put our text box here so that we can type. So when you are playwriting, first thing you'd want to do is try and come up with the name of your play. If you can't, you can do that later. That's fine. We're going to call it I'm going to call it 2020 in the city. All right. So I don't know about you, but 2020 has been insane. If I was a caveman, I might be losing my mind. So a good way to start your scenes might be to make like a scene breakdown. So we know that we want to have a scene where he's with his family in caveman time. We know we want to have a scene where he time travels. We know he needs to be in the city. We know he needs to cry next to a dumpster. I know, and that's where I'm going to find him. And then I need to do something with him. So what are we going to do with him? Let's talk. The video gave us a bunch of options. I think that it would be cool to try to help him get home. So let's do that. Help him get home. And then we have to decide, do we succeed or do we fail? I think we succeed, but then there's a second step. Do I succeed in getting him home and I accidentally go with him, or do I not? I think it might be fun to accidentally go with him, but for the purposes of this example, I'm going to say not. And the reason I'm going to do that is because when you do your playwriting exercise, the story needs to have a conclusion. It needs to come to an end. And if I write that I go with him, then our story is going to continue. And this video is already a little long, so we're going to condense it. All right. So now we've done our scene breakdown. So now we're going to write. And again, if you're somebody who doesn't write very often or very well, don't worry about it. I'm not grading you on your grammar or your spelling or any of that. I'm just wanting you to be creative. So let's start with scene 1. And we got to say where we are. So where are we? We are in a cave. And let's pick a year. Let's say year 5. That's the year we're in. Not 2020. Oh, it might be funnier if we were in year 20. So we're in year 20. Right. So now we got to see who is in our family. Well, it's at least him and probably a wife and probably some kids. So we need to name him maybe. No, maybe not. We'll just say caveman. Caveman. It would be funny if he couldn't speak English. For our intents and purposes, he can speak English. It's a miracle. So now I'm going to add a stage direction. Again, we talked about stage direction. Stage direction is what you are supposed to physically do, not necessarily what you read out loud. All right, so that's scene 1. So now we're going to do scene 2. The future, 2020. The caveman appears in downtown New York. Now, ideally, if you were acting this out, that first sentence where he appears in New York and is overwhelmed by all the future stuff would take a fair amount of time. Like, it would take a couple of minutes where he's seeing this and he's seeing this and he's excited and everything's cool, and then like cars happen and that's scary, and then maybe there's like a magic show with fire downtown New York, whatever happens there is fine. And then he gets overwhelmed and he has to go cry. So that like whole first part would be longer than just a sentence. Okay, so now he's crying by a dumpster. Then I find him. So we're going to say that my name is Georgia. I would be personally excited to find somebody who time traveled. I would continue scene 2. I would probably, if it was me and I was really doing this, I would elaborate on scene 1. I would show them in their cave. I would show their family. And then I would introduce the crystal that made him travel through time. In scene 2, I would continue to go. I would end up getting the caveman to tell me enough information that I would figure out where he's from. Then in scene 3, we might talk about how to help him get home. This would be where I would identify the crystal as an important artifact from the experience. And then maybe we might have to find the crystal and backtrack where he went through New York until we can find the crystal. This would be a good opportunity to show him that all the things that he saw weren't scary, just new. Like maybe that fire he saw was a Benihana's or, that kind of a thing. So that's what I would do in scene 3. We would backtrack to try to find the crystal. So in scene 4, once we found the crystal, we would also want to figure out how to activate the crystal. Once we found it in scene 5, this would be our denouement or our ending. I would, say goodbye to the caveman, and he would thank me for all of my help, and it would be really cool. And then he would go home. Once he was home, he would explain everything that happened. And then you could decide whether or not his family believed him. I think his wife might be really scared, but I don't think his kids would believe him. That's just my personal opinion. So you write each scene just the way we did. The scene number, the name of or where they are, the place that they are. Oops, sorry, wrong one. The place that they are, when they are. So this was year 20. This is 2020. So over in scene 3 and 4 is still 2020, but scene 5 would be year 20 again because he went back in time. And you don't have to use the years and places that I used. You can name your people and you can pick a different thing. This is just an example for me to help you. Please elaborate. Make this awesome. Go crazy. Go nuts. Make it just the coolest thing you've ever seen. All right? Have a good time with it. That's what I want. Done our activity. We've done our playwriting. So now we're going to go back to Canvas. We go back to the home page. We click on the Choice Day Turn In button. Make sure it says September 18th. And it's going to take us here. Now we did this playwriting activity. So what we have to turn in is this. Type the name of the prompt you chose and attach your script. So let's go look at the prompt we chose. The prompt we chose was called Caveman in the City. So I'm just going to copy it. You can type it out. That's fine. You're going to go and you're going to click Submit. You're going to click Text Entry. No, you're not. Well, you could. It depends on how you turned it in. If you are typing your entire script in Canvas, then you would do the text entry box. You would post your name here, you would hit enter, and then you would type out your whole script. I would not recommend doing that because I have a feeling based on the emails that I've gotten today that it might not submit correctly and then you lose the whole thing. I would recommend either writing it out on paper or writing it out on notes or something where if it doesn't submit correctly, you don't lose the whole document. All right. So if you want to type it out here, you definitely can. And then you would just hit submit. If you typed it out on a piece of on notes and took a picture of it, or if you did it in Word, if you did it in slides, if you took a picture of a piece of paper where you wrote it, then you would do choose file the same way we do all the time. And then in comments would be where you put this. All right. So those are the ways that you can turn it in. Obviously, there are other ways here that you can turn it in, but the two ways that we primarily use would be the text box and the file upload. So either you're going to type it out in Canvas. I do not recommend you do that. Or type it out somewhere else and then upload it separately. Please do this one if you do this, because I don't want it to fail to submit and then you lose all of your beautiful work. All right, because I know that's happening to a lot of people. Well, I hope you learned a lot about playwriting today. I would love to know some of the things that you learned. And I hope that you can teach this to other people so that you can write beautiful plays together. And perhaps next week you could use the play that you wrote this week to act it out and do a different center. That would be very cool. Don't forget to complete your Choice Day activity. You can turn in the playwriting, or you can choose a different center, up to you. And then please, please, please check your missing work, guys. You got to check it. You've got to. You've only got 3 weeks left. That's not very long. Okay, that's not long. I need you to check it. I need you to do it. I don't want you guys to have a bad grade just because you got busy and forgot. All right. I love you. I'm sorry that today we didn't have Zoom class. I would have loved to do this actually in person, but I hope that you've had a good time, and I hope that the video was helpful. Please be as creative as you can be. Cute, school appropriate, but please have fun with it. Make it the best. I love you, and I'll see you Monday. Bye.